You going to tell me why Amanda just texted me about your little performance at the company event? The words landed hard in our pristine kitchen. White quartz counters, imported lighting, everything immaculate, sharp, perfect. Chelsea didn't flinch. She stirred risotto like nothing mattered, like we were still the picture, perfect couple on a magazine cover. She finally turned to me, calm, blank. You were hanging off some guy's arm, laughing like a teenager, like you forgot you're married. I said. Chelsea's reaction was ice, cold, detached. Amanda always had a flair for the dramatic, she said, probably had a glass too many. She described what Amanda had seen. You sat in some guy's lap for a joke. I moved closer. So what? That's called socializing. Or is it illegal now? That's not social. That's disrespect. She rolled her eyes. I think you're paranoid. Frankly, it's exhausting. Which one did you sit in another man's lap? I asked. Her smile was slow, measured. I don't recall. Maybe it wasn't serious. You're telling me a married woman climbing into another man's lap isn't serious. Grow up, Nathan. You want me to wear a veil at networking events, carry a GPS tag? Her sarcasm cut deep. I stared at her. I want you to act married, not auditioning. She turned away, poured wine, deflecting blame onto Amanda. I didn't react angrily. I just held my phone up. I'm collecting evidence. She froze. You're spying on me now. Yes, watching patterns. They're starting to align. She laughed coldly. You're pathetic. No, I'm patient. I said, keep pretending nothing's happening. Keep smiling. That mask is cracking. I walked out. In the hallway, I texted Amanda. More evidence. The house was quiet. Too quiet. And in that silence, I realized I'd already started the next chapter. The next morning, I needed real air. I went to a downtown cafe, the one from college, the one unchanged. Amanda arrived, her half-smirk ready. Worse than I told you, she said. She sat, voice low. Chelsea wasn't just flirting. She was deliberate, seeking attention, touching every man with influence. Amanda confirmed my sister Allison had seen it too, and was ready to testify. I slid a small bag across the table. Cabernet Malbec for Allison. Amanda nodded. We were moving forward, calm, deliberate, focused at home. Chelsea carried on like nothing happened. Red lipstick, smooth smiles, champagne glasses, every sign of betrayal subtle. But I wasn't reacting anymore. I was planning. Amanda and Allison were allies. I was ready. A Thursday morning, overcast, I parked near work, getting a few minutes alone. Amanda texted, a video, no explanation, just truth. I pressed play. There was Chelsea, sitting on a bar stool, laughing with a man, hand lingering on his arm, then sitting in his lap like we didn't exist. Arms around his neck, close, deliberate. My chest went quiet, not numb, not broken, just clean. She wasn't my wife anymore. I spent the morning in a fog. By noon, I contacted a lawyer, Mr. Hanley. One video wasn't enough legally. I needed patterns. He suggested investigators, witnesses, documentation. I had Allison and Amanda. My resolve was unshakable. Back home, Chelsea performed for the house like always. Perfect, polite, unreadable. I cued the video from Amanda, handed her the phone silently. She saw herself, laughed lightly, and returned it. I stood quietly. She claimed it was harmless, a networking joke. I said nothing, just watched. She tried to manipulate, to charm, to rewrite reality. I didn't move. I didn't argue. Start packing. I said finally. She froze. I clarified. The choice she made, the trust she broke, made this inevitable. She hadn't just laughed once. This was months of deception. She fell silent, realizing she'd lost control. The house smelled of bacon the next morning. Chelsea brought breakfast to my room, flawless as always, trying to charm, to smooth the cracks. I refused. I'm not eating it, not for you, not anymore. She tried to plead, to manipulate, to act remorseful. I didn't respond emotionally. Indifference was my weapon. When she asked if I'd fight, I told her I already had. Just not in the way she expected. Every manipulation, every performance, every lie had led to this. She didn't notice. I was done. The law office was sleek, modern, all glass and steel, neutral gray, sterile, no warmth. The conference room table stretched impossibly long. On one side, my lawyer, composed, unreadable. On the other, Chelsea and her attorney, the oversized blazer, bored expression, everything rehearsed. Chelsea didn't look at me, rigid, arms tight, jaw set. Documents were laid out, property, accounts, cars, the house. No theatrics, we had agreed through counsel not to fight tooth and nail. Based on earnings, Mr. Whitmore is entitled to 70% of shared assets, and my lawyer said. Chelsea's lawyer barely blinked. We accept the split. Just like that, no outburst, no last-minute appeals. Chelsea's hand twitched slightly as she signed, betraying her control slipping. I signed next, 7 years dissolved in ink. No tears, no ceremony, just protocol, futures untied. Outside, the sun didn't care what ended, hollow. Not pain exactly, just that weightless calm that follows closure. My phone buzzed. Amanda, hey, you sitting down, she asked. I leaned against my car. Close enough. Chelsea's office launched an internal investigation. Someone reported her for inappropriate conduct. HR is involved. The higher-ups are looking into patterns. A few women have filed informal complaints. Fires lit. I nodded. Let the truth work. I hadn't told anyone, neither did Allison. Justice quietly arrived. The courthouse smelled of dust and old decisions. I sat in the second row. Chelsea, pale, exhausted, hair tight, lawyer whispering instructions. Allison, my sister, confident, swore to tell the truth, presented emails, internal memos, messages, evidence of her affair, and other complaints. The tide of truth pulled inexorably. The judge asked short, direct questions, then declared, given the evidence and the divorce terms, no basis for additional claims for Mrs. Whitmore. Finalized. Done. Chelsea's expression faltered, but no words came. Outside, sunlight too bright. She followed, voice weak. Nathan, please. This isn't who we are, I said. No, I clarified. It's exactly who we are, who you chose to be. You lost everything. My job, my family, my husband. She whispered. All for what? I asked softly. Harmless fun, she said. Words failed her. She broke silently before me. I didn't comfort her. That chapter was closed. Back home, Chelsea tried one last time. Breakfast, perfume, wine, seductive glances. I refused. She was desperate, seeking proximity, trying to manipulate with body and scent. I told her, you're desperate. You used your body like currency. I'm disgusted. She blinked, teary-eyed, voice trembling. No more games? Yes. Indifference now. That's the real ending. I handed her a blanket and pillow for the couch. You'll sleep there. This house is ours legally, but that bed is mine. I won't make it ugly, but you and we're done. Chelsea slumped into the couch. I thought you'd fight for us, she murmured. I did. I said softly, you just didn't notice. Later, dinner with my parents. Chelsea played hostess flawlessly, smiling, charming, polite, but I wasn't fooled. Her performance was for them, not me. I observed quietly, noting her subtle glances, every practiced gesture, every attempt to maintain the illusion. My parents, oblivious, were caught in her show. After they left, the house returned to silence, but it wasn't shared anymore. Chelsea's carefully constructed image of our life was gone, and I wasn't a participant. Divorce papers, legal proceedings, evidence, everything lined up. Amanda and Allison had been invaluable. Months of deceit documented, patterns established. The quiet patience, the deliberate planning, the steady accumulation of proof, all of it led to this inevitable outcome. Chelsea's office investigation continued. Complaints, HR involvement, whispers, mounting evidence. Her influence and charm were no longer shields. Quiet justice prevailed without fanfare, without dramatic confrontation. I watched her, the once commanding presence now exposed. No explosive confrontation, no revenge, just undeniable truth arriving calmly, precisely, without theatrics. I stood alone, finally at peace. No anger, no heartbreak. Only clarity. She had underestimated my resolve, misread my patience, and in doing so, had written the final chapter herself. Every betrayal, every lie, every performance had been met not with reaction, but with careful, quiet resolve. The mask had fallen, the truth had been presented, and now There was nothing left but the calm certainty of closure. Justice hadn't roared. It had arrived quietly, on time, exact, complete. And for the first time in months, I felt free.